20-14 with a chance trying to close out the game. Mike Evans wasn't in there on offense, kind of a critical series, and then when you fell down, the next possession he wasn't in there again. Can you kind of explain that?
Yeah, Mike wasn't in there long before that also. Mike played very little the second half. That's why he wasn't out there. Wasn't loose and ready to go. Our plan wasn't to play Mike an awful lot in the second half. That's why he wasn't out there. There's some other players that we want to look at. Those were the guys that were out there.
When did that change, Coach? Because all year you talked about players and putting them in the playing players that gave you the best chance to win. At what point was it earlier this week with the staff that you decided that this game we're going to take some of these guys out, or did it happen in the middle of the game? When did that kind of?
It started early. We have a game plan each week. Now I don't tell y'all the game plan, but we have a game plan each week, and our game plan was that we wanted to. The guys you saw in there in the first half, the game plan was for them to be in there. In the second half, we wanted to look at some more football players. I think that's out of the realm of possibility to look at some other guys. We're not going to the playoffs, and we have a comfortable lead, and we're going to run the football. I think that was, and defensively, we played just about all of our guys, except for Levante David a little bit. We weren't, the guys we had out there fought right up until the end, and they made some good plays to win the game, I think.
Were any of the guys that you wanted to look at today that had been backup players elevate their status with you?
That's hard to say right now. We have video on those guys, so we'll get a chance to get one more good evaluation of them. And we saw them in a critical situation on how they were going to perform there. But we had some guys that did some good things. We can talk a little bit more about our running game. Bradley McDougal, I've talked an awful lot about. It's good to see Keith Candy get in there and make a couple of plays. So there's a lot we got out of this game. Whether we have 2 or 3 wins, or we would like to have had a win at the end of the season, but where we are right now, we know more about our football team going into the season, and the guys fought right up until the end.
Lovie, how difficult